Okay, today we are finding the volume of composed figures. That means that there are two different rectangular prisms stuck together. This question asks me, what is the total volume of the cakes below? If you notice, I have two different rectangular prisms. They are stacked on top of each other. In that video that we watched, it showed us that we have to do what? We have to take the two rectangular prisms apart, find the volume of each, and then do what? Add up the two volumes to find the volume of them together. So, how should I start? First, I should take them apart and do what? Find the volume of each one. So I'm going to start with the bottom. And I need to find the volume of it. So what is my formula for volume? Length times width times height. Everybody agree with that? Yes. Okay, so looking at my bottom cake, or my bottom rectangular prism, what is my length? 8 inches. What is my width? 6 inches. What is my height? It's okay. It'll come back on in a second. What is my height? 7 inches. Okay, can I multiply those three numbers together all at the same time? No, I have to take one at a time, multiply my first two, get the product, and then multiply it by the third. So, I have 8 times 6. What's 8 times 6?
48.
Cool. I'm hearing some different things. 8 times 6 is?
48.
Now I can multiply by 7. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, what's 48 times 7? Well, I don't know. That's a big one. I'm going to have to write it down. 48 times 7. What's 8 times 7? 56. What's 7 times 4?
42.
Plus 5?
46.
That's not right. What's 7 times 4? 28. Plus 5? Oh my goodness. 7 times 4? 28. Plus 5? 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So I have 336. It does not matter how well you know the formula for volume. If you cannot multiply, your answer will be wrong. The volume formula is very important, but it's also very important to know how to multiply. So that is the volume of my bottom cake. Is that my answer? No, because it wants to know the volume of the whole thing pushed together. So what do I need to do next? Find the volume of the top cake. My formula I already know is length times width times height. So what is the length of my top cake? 6 inches. It doesn't matter though what order you put them in because multiplication is commutative. It doesn't matter what order you multiply in. If you do it correctly, you will get the correct answer. Now I got my length. What's my width? 4, right? 4 inches. Then what's my height? 5 inches. Now I can't multiply all three of those together at the same time, can I? I cannot stack them up because something will go wrong. What's 6 times 4?
24.
What's 6 times 4? 24. And then I can multiply by my 5. Anybody know what 24 times 5 is?
120.
It is 120. 24 times 5, 20, 120. If you don't know it, stack it up. 120, what's my unit? Cubic inches. Because I have inches, time inches, Now, is that my answer? Why not, Angeli? Because the question didn't ask me what's the volume of that top cake. The question asked me what's the volume of the cakes, both of them. So I have 336 cubic inches and 120 cubic inches. And I have to do what to them? Add them together. 336 plus 120. 6, that's 5, that's 4. 456 cubic inches. 456. Okay, so here we have another composed figure. That means two different shapes pushed together. What do you see here? What do you see when you look at it? It's all one piece. And I need to split them, right, Celeste? I need to split them. How can I split those two things apart? One's not just sitting on top of the other. How? Which part? This part? Think I need to take this part off? Okay, so when you're looking at one of these composed figures, you can do one of two things. You can split it here, or you can split it here. Either way, you will get the right answer, as long as you get all of the volume in there. Depends which way you look at it. So I'm going to just split it right here. Just because. You can split it here and have one long rectangular prism and then one smaller one. Whichever way makes more sense to you, do it that way. So, now that I have two different rectangular prisms, I have some pieces missing. Because I'm looking at this big, tall rectangular prism and I only see two different dimensions. So I'm missing something. What am I missing? The length. I don't have the length. So where's the length located? The length would be right here, correct? Okay, now I want you to look at all of those different numbers, Pedro. Look at that whole figure. How can I figure out what this piece is? How long that piece is? Anybody? Lucas?
Let's see if there's any pieces that look about that long.
It's a good answer. But if I just do that, then I might be a little off. I want to know for sure. So what I notice is that I know this whole line is 10 inches. You agree with that? This whole line, the length of the whole entire figure is 10 inches. And I also notice that up here I have 6 inches. Well, see, that ends right where this starts. So what should I do?
What's 6 minus 10?
I take my whole length, 10, subtract the 6 that I already know, and I should be left with this section. Everybody agree with that? Does that make sense? So my length to the big, tall rectangular prism is 4 inches. Now I have my 3 dimensions, correct? I have a length, I have a width, and I have a height. So going down here, what's my length? 4 inches. What is my width? 5 inches. Remember, width is where it comes off of the paper. If it was actually 3-dimensional, it would come off of the paper. It is 5 inches. And then what is my height? 10 inches. Okay? Let's go ahead and find the volume of that one. I think it'll make it a little easier. Now I can go ahead and find the volume. What is my formula for volume? Volume equals length times width times height. I've said that a million billion times, so you must never ever forget it. So what is my length?
4 inches.
4 inches. What is my width? 5 inches. What is my height? 10 inches. Take them one at a time. What's 4 times 5? What's 4 times 5? 20. And then I need to multiply by 10. What's 20 times 10? 200. All I do is add a 0. Now what is my unit? Cubic inches. Volume is 3-dimensional. My unit is cubic. Okay. Now my second prism. I know that my length is what? My length is 6 inches. My height is what? 3 inches. So what am I missing? I'm missing a width. Looking at that whole entire figure, what do you think my width could be?
5.
It's 5. If it's a true rectangular prism, then the width stays the same throughout. Tells me up here that my width is 5. So down here, my width would also be 5 inches. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? You with me, Pedro? Okay. So my width is what? 5 inches. Now I already know my formula, length times width times height. So I have 6 times 5 times 3. What's 6 times 5? 30. What's 30 times 3? 90. And what is my unit? Cubic inches. Is 90 my answer? Is 200 my answer? What is my answer? Must add them together. 290 cubic inches. Does that make sense?